Article 342, Forcible Abduction. Abduction is a taking away of a woman from her house or the place where she may be for the purpose of carrying her to another place with intent to marry or to corrupt her. Forcible abduction is a violent or unconsented taking. Consented abduction is the equivalent crime where the woman is over 12 but under 18 and goes voluntarily after solicitation. The elements of forcible abduction are: woman, the person abducted is any woman regardless of her age, civil status, or reputation. 2. The taking is against her will. The abduction is against her will. 3. It must be attended with lewd designs. The abduction is with lewd designs. Note that if the female abducted is under 12 years of age, there is no need for force or intimidation. Even voluntarily going with the abductor constitutes forcible abduction because the child has no will of her own and is incapable of consent. Where the lewd design is not proved and the victim was deprived of liberty, the crime is kidnapping with serious illegal detention under 267, not forcible abduction. The husband cannot be liable for the abduction of his wife because lewd design is one thing. Sexual intercourse is not necessary to consummate forcible abduction. The intent to seduce the girl is sufficient. Virginity of the offended woman is also not an element. Lewd design is present in a hurried marriage ceremony by force, where the marriage is merely an artifice by which the accused sought to escape the criminal consequences of his acts. If there are several defendants, it is not enough that one of them had lewd designs and the others knew about it. It is enough that one of them had lewd designs and the others knew. Absorption rules. This is the interplay of forcible abduction versus rape versus acts of lasciviousness. Forcible abduction is absorbed by rape. The main objective of the accused was to rape the victim. The crime committed is rape only. The abduction is the necessary means. Forcible abduction with rape, or complex crime, where the violent taking with a lewd design was followed by rape, and the abduction was the necessary means to commit the rape. There is one complex crime of forcible abduction with rape under Article 48. Subsequent rapes by the same offender are charged separately because by then the abduction is already complete. Attempted rape is absorbed by forcible abduction. There is no complex crime of forcible abduction with attempted rape. Forcible abduction stands alone. Acts of lasciviousness do not bar prosecution for forcible abduction. Conviction for one is not a bar to conviction for the other. Where the accused, after raping the victim, continued to detain her and refused to release her, the initial abduction may be absorbed by the rape, but the continued detention after the rape is not deemed absorbed and stands as a separate crime. It cannot be deemed necessary means to the rape because the rape was already complete. In the recent case of Romero E. Flores versus People, the accused was charged with kidnapping with rape, a special complex crime. The Court of Appeals reduced the conviction to forcible abduction, but the Supreme Court affirmed the recharacterization of CA, holding that when the violent taking of a woman is motivated by lewd designs, forcible abduction under 342 is committed. Otherwise, such taking constitutes kidnapping under 267. Consented abduction under Article 343. Elements are: the offended party must be a virgin in the legal sense, a virtuous woman of good reputation, physical virginity is not required, over 12 and under 18 years of age. The taking away is with her consent after solicitation or corollary from the offender. And lastly, lewd designs. The taking is with lewd designs. So the essence of abduction is for lewd designs. Note that if the virgin is under 12, the crime is forcible abduction even if she consented to the elopement. Under 12, victim is viewed by the law as having no capacity to give consent. Abduction need not be with permanence. Temporary taking suffices. The victim need not be taken from her house. It is enough that the abductor was instrumental to her escape from home through solicitation or corollary. There can be a complex crime of consented abduction with rape.